Buenas noches, Hartford. Good evening. Good evening. And it's a good day in Hartford. It's a good day. Let me begin by thanking my friend and colleague, Reverend Sam Saylor, for introducing me and giving us those words of motivation. A motivation to serve others and to help them get up. Sam, I've known Sam since we started our careers in community organizing back in the late 70s. I have witnessed firsthand that Sam has been a soldier of justice. A soldier of justice for the children and families of our city and beyond. Thank you, Sam. Thank you on behalf of those who others don't see and you have served so well. Thank you, Sam. I want to thank Maria, my wife. I want to thank Maria for being my partner in community and public service and for sharing the joys and sorrows of our 41-year journey together. Her support and love have been part of every one of my successes. Gracias, my love. Siempre se puede. I want to thank Eddie Jr. and Sierra, not just for making us grandparents, but for being strong pillars of our family and excellent role models for our community. You guys make us proud. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I am humbled by all of the support and the words of encouragement that I have received throughout the city of Hartford. Without your support in the past, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish so much for the families and neighborhoods of our city. It is time for a change at City Hall. It is time for a change at City Hall, and it is time for a change in every neighborhood of our city. We need leadership that cares about the struggles of our neighborhoods, that cares about the education of our children, that understands the importance of neighborhood businesses, and demands a living wage and good jobs for all our residents. We need leadership that has the courage to act and improve the lives of all our residents. "12 years ago, we came together. We came together at this very same place to celebrate my last election victory. Let me tell you a little bit about the journey that brought us here today. The book of Proverbs says about the journey through life. The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. For the last couple of weeks, the Lord has been saying to me, take your next step. Eddie, take your next step. Eddie, take your next step. I am with you. I thank my God for giving me the peace to be here today. During our journey, we are responsible for our choices. But we should never be arrogant enough to believe that we have the final say in what we accomplish. If our journey is to be successful, we require the help and support of friends and strangers, as well as the humble recognition that God has the final say in God's creation. My journey in Hartford began in 1969, when I arrived here from Puerto Rico via Brooklyn, New York. I arrived on Bellevue Street in Hartford's North End, across from Victory Cathedral. As one of 9 children of a single mom, I learned how members of our community who had very little came together to support each other when families ran out of food, had the power turned off, or faced eviction as a result of displacement when the city shut down their building. We had the same struggles, but we shared what little we had to help our neighbors survive. This is true of Corozal, Puerto Rico, and true of the 7 Hartford neighborhoods, which I had called home. My journey took me to Winthrop Street and the Sacred Heart Parish, where the parish priest instilled in all of us the importance of recognizing that advocating for social and economic justice was a natural extension of the Bible. My journey took me to North Main Street, across from Phillips AME Church, where as a VISTA volunteer, I established One Chain to organize our community to fight predatory landlords, push for jobs, and stabilize 2 neighborhoods in Hartford's North End. Then I went to Hampton Street in the Old Stowe Village Housing Project. When working with the Urban League, the Hartford Housing Authority, and the National Puerto Rican Forum, I established Project Make Something Happen, a project that helped mothers to go from welfare to work and into better housing. Something did happen. Something did happen. Project MASH was able to help more than 500 families get jobs and moved out of public housing. Then my journey took me to Broad Street, where we rebuilt a neighborhood in Frog Hollow by investing in jobs, education, and home ownership. We took back a neighborhood from the gangs. We built a 16-acre Learning Corps campus of public schools in collaboration with the building trades, minority-owned businesses, and most importantly, Hartford residents working together. My journey took me to 550 Main Street, where together we invested over $800 million in new and rehabilitating crumbled schools. It happened on Forest Street, Holcomb Street, Whitney Street, Woodland, Brookfield, Weathersfield Ave, Edward Street, Plainfield Street, Tower Avenue. It happened in every neighborhood in the city, north, south, west, and east. When we built these schools, we did it with good union jobs. We also grew Hartford businesses. Not bad for a kid from the wrong side of Main Street. Stay with me, the journey's not over, baby. The journey's not over. My journey took me to Nelson Court, Rice Heights, Stowe Village, and Dutch Point, where we fundamentally changed public housing in our city, at the same time building affordable rental housing combined with home ownership opportunities in 4 of the toughest neighborhoods in our city. My journey took me to Trumbull Street, where we saved hundreds of good-paying jobs, union jobs, for Hartford residents at the Hartford Hilton Hotel, even though at the time the Republican governor and the business community said no to that too. My journey took me to daycare centers and youth recreation centers, where I established the Office of Young Children and the Office of Youth Services to focus on children and young people in our city from birth to 24 years of age. My journey took me to crime scenes, emergency rooms, the living rooms and kitchens of mothers who had lost their sons. And yes, too many funerals. With the leadership of Chief Harnett and Chief Roberts, who's out there today, we battled crime and established the Hartford Peace Builders to help our youth and help their families deal with the aftermath of gun violence. And during my journey as mayor, I also made some serious mistakes. Those steps were selfish mistakes, and I hurt the image of our city. I let many people down. And for that, I am truly sorry. The people of Hartford have every right to hold me accountable for those actions. I only ask to each and every resident of our city that they measure me by the total path that I have taken in this city, a path to make the city better for all our families. I ask for your forgiveness. I ask the city to give me a second chance. Give me a second chance. When given that second chance, I will have the opportunity to serve the city that I love so much and has given so much to me and my family. Now, Hartford, the journey has brought us to this place. And there's a fork in the road. And that fork gives Hartford a choice. That choice is, do we want to continue the current leadership at City Hall? Hartford, I think there's a time for a change. It is a time for a change at City Hall. In the leadership that hands out millions of dollars to downtown while starving our public schools, putting stadiums before our students, and leaving the 15 other struggling neighborhoods behind. It is time to change the leadership that gives millions of dollars in benefits to downtown economic development, but doesn't create good jobs with a living wage for our neighborhoods. It is time to change the leadership that allows our city streets to be filled with garbage, cuts funding for the fire and police department, cuts funding for voting, and is unable to repair the potholes in our crumbling streets. It is time for leadership that tried to force our city into bankruptcy and has created chaos in city department that makes the Trump administration look like a well-run electoral machine. It's time, Hartford, it's time for change. It's time to change the leadership that's always looking to move to higher office, instead of devoting their entire attention to the needs of the people of Hartford who elected them. Hartford is not for sale, and Hartford shouldn't be a resume builder. That's why, my friends, that's why, my neighbors, today, I am announcing that I am a candidate for the office of mayor in the great city of Hartford. As I said before, there is a choice. And together we can make that choice. If you believe it's time for a change, here's where the journey could take us together. In a Perez administration, we will make a commitment and a significant investment in our neighborhood schools to increase student achievement with the goal of making sure more of Hartford students are successfully entering the workplace or going off to college. I know firsthand how a strong public school system can help lift children and families out of poverty. We need a mayor who understands that educating our students is our first priority. A mayor who will be willing to make the tough choices in order to finance this investment and not look at the conveniences of today. We will strongly enforce our living wage ordinance to make sure that development projects that receive public assistance hire Hartford residents, use minority and women-owned business, and use our highly qualified building trades in those jobs. If we can't support good jobs with good wages for residents in the city of Hartford, then we shouldn't be in public office. In a Perez administration, we will strengthen the fire, police, and public works department, giving them the tools and the resources they need to keep our neighborhoods safe and clean, but at the same time, making sure that we hold them accountable and that they build working relationships with all our neighbors. We will create a mechanism to work with neighborhood small businesses to stabilize these existing businesses in our neighborhood so they can continue to provide the essential services to our neighborhoods. Once these businesses stabilize, we must develop initiatives to create opportunities for new businesses to come in. Let me give you a little hint. If we took 50% of the money and support that we put into the central business district and to the interests of the corporations of our city, and we put that money in small businesses on Main Street, Albany, Franklin, Park Street, Weathersfield, we would have a whole new city that we all would be proud of. A new city, a city of hope and opportunity for all, not just for a few. Let me tell you what small businesses think about this city. I hear this as a constant complaint when you go into neighborhood businesses. Neighborhood businesses that deal with the city think it's worse than asking the Department of Motor Vehicle for help. That's bad. We will work with Governor Lamont and our allies at the legislature to fix Hartford's property tax system. The Connecticut property tax system hurts Hartford each and every day. Whether it's the ECS formula, the education cost sharing formula, the payment in lieu of taxes formula, or the regional burden for social and economic support that our city provides. All of those things combined work against Connecticut's capital city. We need a tax system that protects our homeowners, protects our small businesses, and not just the rich, wealthy corporations of our city. For starters, the state of Connecticut could fully fund the payment in lieu of tax program. Additionally, the state of Connecticut, this great state of Connecticut, should meet its constitutional obligation to fund the education of all the state's children, beginning here in our capital city. Those responsibilities of the state are real solutions. They're not handouts. They're not bailouts. It's really doing what's right for the citizens of Hartford, for the citizens of the capital region, and for the citizens of our state. A Perez administration will work to move the city of Hartford out of state control. Just like we did, I don't need to remind you, when I became mayor, Hartford had given up on its children. It told the state to take the educational system. We moved it back to local control. And we could move the city back to local control. When we do that, we'll have control of the benefits that each and every city resident deserves. When I left office, the city had balanced budgets. We had a strong bond rating, and we were not swimming in debt. Let me tell you, it was never easy, and it won't be easy going forward. But we were able to invest in our infrastructure, to invest in our schools, to invest in our neighborhoods, and to make sure city residents had the services they needed. We always will work to make the lives of Hartford citizens better. Hartford, we need to take the next step. I ask you, Hartford, will we take this journey together? Can we?
Yes, we will.
Can we make Hartford work for all our residents?
Yes,
Can we invest in better education to have successful neighborhood schools? Can we make our neighborhoods safer and cleaner each and every day? Can we create jobs for our residents that pay a living wage? Can we help struggling small neighborhood businesses to be successful and grow? Hartford, I promised you that the next leg of our journey together, I, Eddie Perez, will not stop fighting, no matter how big the obstacles. And I always will put the interests and needs of Hartford's children and families first. It's a big step, Hartford, but it's a possible step. It's a probable step, and it's a needed step. I ask for your support. I ask for your prayers. God bless the city of Hartford.